everybody, I'm calling this truckcasting. Podcasting in a truck, truckcasting. Right on. And I dig it. I kind of like doing it like this. So, like, one of my favorite things to do is to talk to you guys, and another favorite thing to do is to drive this dang truck. So, truck casting, you know, like podcasting in a truck, obviously. And I think, so this has been kind of the goal the whole time whenever I started my podcast and I started interviewing people. The idea was to move this to the truck in the very beginning. I kind of thought it would be either in a rooftop tent or in the awning next to me. Still things that I could possibly do later, but I think this works out good. And I mean, it's a conversation we're having. Kind of think of this more as like a buddy thing than anything else. You know, anyway, go down that road. But the podcast, I love doing it here. This is kind of the new thing. Truckcasting is what I'm going to call these segments. And so you'll see truckcasting on the back of these when you go to look at it, like on YouTube or something. Ooh, there's a pickup truck right there. And but so like I said, this is something that I really kind of wanted to start doing in the pickup truck. Now with this, and I'm going to do a new build. I kind of teased about it the other day, but yeah, I'm going to do a new build on the truck. I've got the suspension dialed into where I want it. I got the extra heavy, or the heavy springs on the back to handle weight, and we're going to make this like the mini TruckHouse Life truck. If you watch TruckHouse Life, Timmy, who's in Alaska, who's actually less than 100 miles from where I live. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's on the way to Anchorage, so it's kind of necessary to go that way. Anyway, go check out his channel, TruckHouse Life, and you will see a camper that he has built on the back of his F350, 8-foot bed. I've got a mini truck, so I've got a 5-foot bed. I'm going to do an overhang with a camper that I'm going to build. It's going to be a lot like his. It's going to have a hip roof with metal roofing on top. It's going to be an A-style frame in the back, you know, like a traditional cabin kind of thing. It's going to be in a gray-black color, so I'm thinking black metal roof, gray walls, black trim, or black on the bottom, so black trim, black walls, and a gray roof, like a dark gray. I'm not real sure yet, kind of playing with those, but those are the color options. I think it'll look great with the white pickup truck, the black rims, the black bumpers, sliders, tinted windows. Like, I think it's going to be a good combination. I think it's going to look good. But part of why I'm doing it is to be able to do the podcast, to be able to camp out of it, because camping is going to be so much easier with opening the door, walking in, and everything being there. Do the podcast out of it. And then also, my family's getting into cross-country skiing, so that's another avenue that we'll be exploring more kind of on this channel, because it'll take us to places that I'll be able to do some cross-country skiing. And that's another reason for the build. Even when we go out with Hendrix to go skiing, and he's like 7, but he's awesome at cross country, loves it. And so when we go out, he wants to be out all day. We're old and we don't want to be out all day, but it'll give us an opportunity to go get in the back of the cabin and kind of chill for a little bit. I'll have a diesel heater in there, possibly gonna have a wood stove, gonna have battery set up. I'm gonna set it up, I think, with the idea right now is with more of a power station that I can take in and out. And I'd like to get a pretty big power station, because what I want to be able to do with that is to also use it in the shed, which is a place where I'll do some more podcast. I'm going to do some painting. A lot of things that are going to happen in the shed. So the shed's still happening. I'm slowly building that and getting that going. So a couple of fun things that are going to be going on basically after the New Year's, when some of these things are going to get started. Going to fly to Oklahoma City. I've already told you guys that for a week, and going to have fun. That'll be during this Christmas season, getting ready to leave for that here pretty soon. But yeah, so just excited about where everything's going and what's happening. Excited to get back to doing the podcast, to do these things. I really love it. I really love talking to you guys. And so now I've got to start researching more things to give you good information that's useful, that's educational, how-to kind of things on here, and then talk about different camping situations. We'll do the gear review stuff probably, or at least talk about it. I like doing those more whenever I've got somebody that I'm interviewing that can tell me about the product that we're looking at, not just like, oh, here's a gear review and here's my opinions. No, let's talk to the creator, the owner, the company, those kind of things. That's what we did with the podcast over on Overland Radio, the All Over Overland show. So yeah, maybe I'd like to get that started again. I'm gonna need Starlink to get that started. And yeah, this is all self-funded, so Starlink's on the back burner for now. I'd rather get cabin done, all the things that I need for it before I even really get the Starlink, because doing live kind of videos or doing live interviews can happen later. And I'd like to get everything kind of situated before that. I'm super excited about this camper cabin thing that I'm going to build. The guys here at Northwood Buildings where I work are going to help me out on it to make sure everything's done correctly. And then we're going to do things to keep the weight down, all those kind of things, but be able to basically build it strong enough for what I need to do. So the idea is to, in the bed of the truck, to have that be open, maybe put like at least an L shape or even a U-shaped bench in there, and that can be an extra sleeping space. It's only a 5-foot bed. You'd have to sleep diagonal, or it'd have to be for one of the kids. And then up where the overhang is, the overhang's probably going to be about 3.5 feet over the cab of the truck. And my plan is to have, like a lot of the canopy campers have, they have the piece that'll slide out to extend the bed over that open area over the bed. So I want to extend that to, 6 foot total, 6.5 feet, whatever it may be, to where I can sleep comfortably up there. And it's primarily going to be for me. So like with the pitch of the way the roof is going to be, sleeping in the middle is going to be ideal if somebody else comes. I hope that I'm going to get the sides up enough before I start the roof that I'll have plenty of room if 2 people want to sleep up there. So we'll see. I'm excited. That's all going to start January, February. I don't have a date for sure, but I know that I'm going to get it started at least by February, and shouldn't take too long to build, I don't think. I'll have to take, so what happened is I got a crack in the back window. I've got actually a hole in the back window right behind me. And so I've just put some duct tape on both sides, pretty heavy duct tape on both sides, until I can take all of the rack and the rooftop tent off, because they can't change the window on that until I get the rack and the rooftop tent off. So since I'm going to do that, might as well start doing this build that I've been dreaming of doing in certain forms of it for a couple of years, pretty heavily in the last year. My first thought that I came up with last year was to do kind of a base and then put the rooftop tent on top of it, and then cut a hole in the rooftop tent. My problem is if I F that up, then I'm out of rooftop tent. And if I don't F it up, then I can save the rooftop tent for another vehicle, or I can sell it, possibly. So yeah, that's kind of the skinny on truck casting. I'm a truck caster. like podcaster, truckcaster. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's dumb. I think it's kind of fun. I thought of a couple t-shirts that you could make with that. So Lee and I have been talking about that a little bit. And then, you know, kind of giving you guys an update on what I'm thinking with the camper build. So I can't decide if I'm going to have the tailgate on or if I'm going to remove the tailgate. I'm going to build it to where it goes down all the way down to the bottom of the bed anyway. The tailgate would be nice because then I would have still one of my favorite upgrades, which is the mountain hatch tailgate cover. I'll still have that I can use, be a porch that I can stand on. It'll really kind of depend on how big I'm able to make the door going in and out. And then if I do the tailgate, I'll have to cut the door in half just in case somebody closes the tailgate while I'm inside. So a couple different things that I'll have to kind of maybe make those decisions once I get the base of the building done, the base of the cabin. So I'm gonna put it right on the frame or on the bed rails, and so I'm gonna make a U shape, if I could speak. I'm thinking 2x4s, maybe 2x6s on the sides, a 2x4 up against the bed, frame it with some 2x4s in the corners, and then extra piece for strength, but mainly 2x2s, and then do a spray foam or do a foam block for my insulation. That'll also add strength to the sides, and then siding on the outside, and then just some kind of thin plywood on the inside, and then build the inside after I get the rest done. So I'll build the floor and then the bench and everything after I actually get the cabin part finished. So yeah, excited about everything that's moving forward. Excited to be going back to Oklahoma. I get to see Molly, get to hang out with mom and dad. I'm gonna see my grandparents, see my sister. It's gonna be a good time. See Sarah's family. Like, it's just gonna be fun. Anyhow, so this will probably be the most likely the last podcast for the year, and the last one probably for sure before Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Thank you so much for, you know, watching the YouTube channel, checking in with the podcast, like all of those things. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited, I'm settled, I'm ready to get rolling on this all over Overland thing. And I may have a new podcast coming out with a different name that I can kind of talk about more things. So we'll see. I'm in a good place. I'm happy. I hope you're in a good place. I hope you're happy. If you're not, go Overland. Go camping. Make you feel all better. Anyway, whatever you do, make sure that you go all over. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.